Power forward from San Carlos, Pangasinan, number 22, Xavier Lucero. And at center from Lubao, Pampanga, number 10, Ian Sangalang. Coaching the Hot Shots is Chito Victolero. It is now time to meet the starters for the NorthPort Battlefield. Point guard from Cagayan de Oro City, number 28, Gio Halalon. Shooting guard from Davao City, number 5, Aline Bulanedi. Small forward from Bacolor, Pampanga, number 24, Joshua Monzon.
Coming at you from Ilocos Sur in the Candon City Arena, Maimbag Arabii to everyone watching us here in the PBA on Filipinas Live.
Between the two, and yes, they take care of the ball much better than most teams here in the PBA.
And you know, just to bring back what you mentioned a while ago, as William Navarro gets his first field goal here, making a 4-point game. The NorthPort Batang Pier are going to go against a Magnolia team who, quite frankly, Coach, was a bit embarrassed on the defensive end in their last game against the Reina Shangalasta Panthers.
Very embarrassed. They allowed 119 points to Rain or Shine. That's really very high in terms of their standards, knowing them as one of the top defensive teams in the league. And you can expect them to be really aggressive defensively here.
He's back to Jerome. Great challenge from Sidney Onmubere. And they are running the other way. Gio Lalo sprinting. And that is Joshua Munzon, who couldn't finish, but William Navarro's there to clean it up. And Body's still on the floor.
And that's the third offensive rebound for NorthPort. They're really trying to make up for that terrible rebounding performance last time against Converge.
Well, they do lack the size, but definitely do not lack the bodies on the rebounding front. Here's Mark Baroka, faking out his old teammate Gio Halalon. Gets that to fall with the friendly roll.
Mark Baroka just too smart. And he converts on this floater plus the contact.
Now Mark Baroka. Mark Baroka up top. Baroka gets free and shoots over Sidney Onmubere. Mark Baroka, once he starts heating up, Coach, people forget that this guy could be one of the most lethal scorers on the floor, especially when he's in the mood.
And he also read the defense so well. He knew where the open space is, and that's an easy basket for Mark, that medium range jump shot.
He could be unstoppable. We just saw that a couple of games ago. As Gio Halalon unmolested. What's happening to the defensive sequence of Magnolia? Coach Chito Victolero not happy.
This match, Magnolia will make sure to keep everything in check on both ends. Unang-una, malimit ang NorthPort to just 90 points. At pangalawa, i-improve ang shot selection nila to have over 45% field goal percentage. Gentlemen,
maraming salamat. That was Hans Ko as Paul Lee hits a triple deep in the corner. That's exactly what we were talking about, Coach. If Paul Lee finds groove, finds rhythm, he could make a big difference, but Kwekwe, just too quick there. But back on the report of Hans, here's Calvin Nueva thinking about it. Gets Xavier Lucero in the corner and said, short shot clock, he's gotta go when he scores.
So effective when he drives strong to the basket. He's just lost the ball. Again, I'll go back to what I said earlier before the break. The lack of discipline. They started this game really well. They were up for most of the time until they started fouling.
And you're absolutely right, Coach. And the thing with the NorthPort Batang Pier is that they are actually one of the best assist-giving teams. As Alfaro gets a 4-pointer to fall.
Peter Alfaro is really beginning to be one of the better shooters in this team, especially from the 4-point range.
Magnolia are the best 4-point shooting team in the league. As Fran Yu gets 3 to go. Boldy. Alfaro, he'll try another 4. Oh, he gets a second one. 8 points from beyond 2 arcs for Alfaro. Take a look at this again. Alfaro asking us to change his name to Alforo.
That's really good, Pao.
Abueva finding him again. And boy, oh boy, let's see.
Ooh,
That was a crunching screen there. Rome De La Rosa trying to take advantage. Gets the friendly roll.
Spin move and getting the contact there from James Quecote.
There it is. That is here. Cade Flores will check out. Another shooter here for NorthPort, Patang Pierre. They find Joshua Munzon. He has to go right at the face, and he drains it. Getting that to fall. And you can see the buzzer. You can see the replay. Sloppy play for both teams here to start out the second quarter. Cade Flores almost traveled. Got that dribble down, importantly, scoring. And Coach Chito Victorino, so look at this again. Cade Flores almost traveled. Bam! Got the dribble. And scoring too. Lastimosa pitching it forward. Rome De La Rosa almost lost it. And Ian Sangalang left unmolested underneath. Let's take a look at this again. Ian Sangalang, who has Mark Baroka. Swing that around. Rome De La Rosa attacking the closeout. And again, sloppy play here from Magnolia in terms of turnovers. And stop, pop, jumper is good.
Another transition basket this time for NorthPort. That's off a turnover by Magnolia.
Here's Jerome Lastimosa. Rome De La Rosa back to Mark Baroka. Mark Baroka finds Ian Sangalang. Baroka can't stroke home three. And Sangalang plays it back. Jerome Lastimosa relocates 4-3. Gets in a fall.
Well, what a move using a step back for Jerome Lastimosa and converting a 3-ball.
Lubere on the move. Evanelli. Felt a bit of contact. Whistle did not blow. We go the other way. Here's Mark Baroka. Surveying the field. Finds Rome De La Rosa wide open in the corner. Momentum is all with Magnolia. Mark Baroka, quick survey at the field. Wide open. Rome De La Rosa. Splash home. Represent NorthPort here. As the ball was tapped up to Joshua Munzon. Fast break here for NorthPort. Batang Pierre getting two blue shirts to bite on the fake. William Navarro scoring too. Yeah, they have run, they have gunned. They, at parts of the game, have controlled the tempo, and that is the reason why we have that number in front of you here today. After what was a good cameo role in their last loss against Rain or Shine. Evanelli. Olalo hangs up in the air, scores 2 and 1.
Great passing between these two guards and a great finish by Gio Halalo.
On Misi wants 3, can't get 3. And the shooting has not really fallen here for the Magnolia Hotshots from beyond the arc. As Gio Halalo scores 2, and he has yet to miss from 4. As Halalo may be overthinking their possessions here.
Very impressive defense by NorthPort. As you said, they've been very disruptive. Very
forcing it inside. Zabe Lucero couldn't finish. NorthPort a chance to take the lead here. Gio Halalo drives inside. He wants to, and he will get it.
And that's the 3rd straight time he scores off a drive. Magnolia hasn't found a solution to that problem.
Shooting hasn't been there for Magnolia. Inside or out. Paul Lee. 9-0 run here for NorthPort. Alfaro. Hopping inside to Zabe Lucero. Lucero mercifully ends the drought. 60% he has shot prior to that. 26 out of 43 from the free throw line this conference. Aseri Yobu. Another turnover, and NorthPort extend their lead from the free throw line this conference. Aseri Yobu. Another turnover, and NorthPort extend their lead, and it has been a nightmare quarter here for Coach Chito Victorino. And it has been a nightmare quarter here for Coach Chito Victorino.
Well, that time they used a 2-2-1 zone press and was able to get a steal. However, this time, Magnolia was able to break through that 2-2-1 zone press and plus a foul.
Well, he felt like he had to make up from the previous play, and there he is doing just that.
Also, excellent pass coming from Zig. He does look so young. Although that time, Will Navarro did not have to use a shot fake against you know, a smaller defender, and that shot fake resulted to the offensive foul.
And Magnolia regained the lead here against Northport Batampierre. 1:13 left to play here in the second quarter. What can Northport do? Kwekute. That's a 4 from Onwubere.
Wow.
Well, Sydney Onwubere, surprise, surprise, has stroked the ball well from beyond the arcs here. Magnolia 23 to 12 in terms of perimeter points. And what a block, what a turnover here for the Northport Batampierre. As Gio Halalon almost loses it to his old teammate Mark Baroka. Onwubere to Fran Yu attacking Ariobu. Ariobu hits the deck. Fran Yu left open. Gives it to Gio Halalon. He wants 3 and he gets it.
Wow. So that's a 7-point swing for Northport. A 4-point shot from Onwubere, followed by the 3-point shot from Gio.
Magnolia have struggled to defend, not just today, but in the previous game as well. Jerome Lastimosa answers back with 4 of his own. 2-point lead here for Northport Batampierre to start out with 53 to 51. Gio Halalon gets the first 2 points of the game. Coach, you know, we look at what happened in that first half.
Itong Northport, they don't have much structure. They just attack whenever they get the opportunity, and they've been successful doing that.
So it's a battle of styles, Coach.
Styles, yes.
Assignment in the FIBA Under-16 Asian Cup Siaba qualifiers. They beat Vietnam 113 to 60.
Tried to do a Gio Halalon there, but just missed that easy layup.
And Gio Halalon tried to do Mark Baroka there, but missed the jumper.
Correct.
Here's Mark. Stop, pop, push shot, no good. Paul Lee with a follow.
I don't know if this is intentional on the part of Magnolia, but they seem to be also trying to score some fast breaks here.
Onwubere shot the ball well in the first half. Not quite in that attempt. Here's Joshua Munzon, left wide open there. Lucero came out, and William Navarro scoring 2 and wanted more after that little push from Zane Lucero.
Great action between Joshua Munzon and Will Navarro there. Another steal, yes.
Here's Gio Halalon to Munzon.
Very dangerous in transition. Great action between Joshua Munzon and Will Navarro there. Another steal, yes.
Here's Gio Halalon to Munzon.
Very dangerous in transition. They have a lot of turnover points already in this game as a result of those steals, something they've done really well even in the first half.
Here is Zane Lucero getting 2 inside, much needed there as Magnolia still trail here by 1. Now, Onwubere offering the pick, feeding Onwubere inside. Onwubere, little bump, and gets the finish. Tough finish for Onwubere, who insists that Zane Lucero is flopping.
Northport really very aggressive in attacking the baskets, and Sydney Onwubere definitely one of the brightest spots for the team here. And on the part of Magnolia, I don't know, they've been taking some bad shots.
Northport are loving it, Coach. At the moment, the Northport Batampierre in charge. They are running the show here in the third quarter. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And honestly, the biggest difference in this game so far.
It is the biggest key for them to why they have the lead right now.
And that would be a foul here for Mark.
And Baroka made sure he made the shot this time. It was from
Alfaro, who had a fantastic first half. Now Ian Sanggalar. More deliberate offense here coming from Magnolia, and that's what it means. Here. Rome de la Rosa goes on the attack, and that's a block from Paulo Taha. He tosses it out. It hit Paul Lee, but they keep going. Kate Flores to Kwekute. He'll pull up for 3, and he'll get it.
Shot coming from the corner, a 3-point shot from James Kwekute.
Kwekute getting a big triple here for the Northport Batampierre. The momentum, the Magnolia Hotshots should have the advantage in this department.
Especially that this zone is really working well for Northport.
And speaking of the running game here, we're running the other way as Zane Lucero will get the finish. on Mubere. Barreling his way through, but save Rosero. What a stop. Paul Lee swings that around. Xavier Rosero wants three, and he'll get it. Yeah, let's take a look at that again. Paul Lee finding Xavier, and Xavier Lucero with a big triple. What do they need to do to stop a Magnolia team who was in the ascendancy and who won that last quarter by 1 point?
Well, they need to continue their aggressive defense and mix it up like they did with the zone and with the man zone, and try to continue getting that good space to score in transition, but to take care of the ball more, because now is the fourth quarter. This is where Magnolia really clamps down on defense, so they gotta be smart. Oh, what a big shot.
That was a 4-pointer from Evan Nelly, and it looks like there was a landing.
There could be a landing spot. Let's see.
So far, so good here. And almost stepped out of bounds. And yeah, so we're going to have to take a look at that. And
that was close because it was an open shot for Nelly. Great cut, great play from Baroka to Peter Alfaro right there.
And here is Mark Baroka. Mark Baroka on the attack, gets free of everyone, and sails in for an easy 2.
Well, that was wide open for Mark. Nobody really tried to close in on that drive after he gets past Evan Nelly.
Here's William Navarro bullying Mark Baroka, sitting on Mubere. Gets a 2 inside. Here's Kwekute on the attack, hitting William Navarro. Who attacks, goes up a swat from Mastronisio. Kwekute. Back to you. And good hands there coming from Xavier Lucero. And Xavier Lucero will top it off with a finish.
Beautiful drive by Xavier, and a great pass coming from Calvin Abueva. Good spacing by the Magnolia team. And now they're back in the driver's seat.
You were saying, Coach?
Well, quick answer coming from Joshua Monson, and that was a 3-point shot.
85-83 in favor of NorthPort Batang Pierre, as Joshua Munzon made sure that Magnolia couldn't enjoy that lead for any longer. Mark Baroka, quarterback here, gets Franyu on the ground and finishes off the glass.
And he has mastered that bank shot from that spot.
Joshua Munzon pulls up for 3 again. That time missed everything.
A bad shot that time. Again, the discipline will come to play here.
Oh, Paul Lee, that's a 4. Oh my goodness, Paul Lee, yet again. Coach, transition 4 coming in for Paul Lee. Let's take a look at that again. Mark Baroka with a forward pass. All the time in the world, that's a layup. Here is Joshua Munzon. He sells for a long 2. That is no good. William Navarro.
Oh,
what an
William.
effort for William. And William, tell me what you need to do
for NorthPort in this game, especially with those offensive rebounds. His timing is really spectacular, and he has really worked hard.
And that time, Joshua Munzon trying to do the same thing, but Calvin Abueva, like a thief in the night. Mark Baroka again. Calvin Abueva on the attack. Paul Lee looking for another 4. Oh, yeah, he got it! Paul Lee dialed in from beyond not 1, but 2 marks today.
The 4-point line.
They are 5 of 8 from beyond 4-point land, Coach. 5 of 8 from 4-point land.
So that's 2 from Alfaro, 2 from Lee. Who got the other one?
The other 4-pointers were courtesy. Jerome Lastimosa also has a 4-pointer.
Yes, correct.
5.6 seconds on the shot clock.
It has been one of those days here for the Magnolia Hotshots. And here it is, almost a turnover, and finally completed. Paul Lee, left by his lonesome, gets a 2. 10 points in a quarter by himself. Paul Lee, 2 4-pointers in that fast break.
on the board. So it puts a lot of pressure being behind 10 points for NorthPort with only less than 5 minutes left.
Mark Baroka. Oh, he lifted that up and in. Sidney Onbubere with the pick. Gets it saved. Rosero, that's a tough finish. Onbubere, coach, has had a good game here. 19 points here today. Scoring in a variety of ways. Has one 4-pointer. He is 4 of 5 from the 2-point line. And shooting 6 of 9 from the field.
And he's very gutsy, you know, going up against the taller Zave Lucero that time.
That is Jonicio joining in on the party, improving the 3-point shoot. It has been an incredible second half here for the Magnolia Hotshots, coach. 20-5 run in favor of Magnolia. Here's Zave Lucero off the drive. No good. Joshua Munzon able to save that one. Paul Lee right in front of him. Joshua Munzon, he's up 3, gets it to go. Important basket here for NorthPort.
And that's bad defense on the part of Paul Lee. Joshua is the most dangerous offensive player on the floor for NorthPort. He's got to do a better job defensively.
Paul Lee, full court press coming from the NorthPort Batang Pierre. Mark Baroka able to get across the timeline, the halfway point. Paul Lee goes to the corner. And that's a good dribble. That is Jonicio, back-to-back threes. Went straight to Paul Lee to say thank you for that. As Paul Lee attracted 2 white
20
shirts.
points a game. And now they need to get that number from somebody else, and it's just been a struggle. Add to the fact that they're not a very big team, so they lack the big men to battle against teams like Magnolia, like San Miguel, so that's another problem for them. And now they're even more into heavy pressure, no, with this impending loss. And Magnolia has really played a methodical game in this 4th quarter.
Methodical game for sure, Coach. William Navarro gets an easy 2 here. Make the score a bit more respectable here. City again. And of course, a great venue for sports. With the PBL also having had games there as well. Basketball, volleyball, there's a reason why we're always back there.
And the people of Candon were treated to a great game today.
They were.
You know, regardless of this impending 9-point victory for Magnolia. It has been really action-packed from the very beginning. It was a great fight displayed by NorthPort. And probably something they can build on in their remaining games.
Well, at the end of the ball game, it is a Magnolia who will take away the win and finally bounce back from their sole loss of conference so far. They're now up to 7 wins in the conference.